Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope all of you are having an awesome week, students. This class is an IELTS speaking class, everybody. We're going through the IELTS speaking interview, and we will have a chance to practice our speaking by combining Zoom with YouTube. Welcome, Mr. Tank Stars, Aisha, Homi, Ariadna. Good to see students in the class. The topic of today's part 2 of the speaking interview cue card will be a place of learning. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Please visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are our websites. They power these live classes, and those of you who have access to the premium version also get 2 extra live Zoom classes each week. The academic IELTS website looks like this. And the way to join the premium version is just by clicking this big red button right over there. It's a one-time payment. You get lifetime access. Only costs 30 to 50 bucks US. You get lots and lots of videos, over 200 videos, an interactive course, and practice exams. We're an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, and an IELTS test registration center. We help thousands of students every month improve English and succeed on IELTS. This is the general IELTS, same idea. It's the green background. Click that big red button and you're good to go. Hi Ghazi, thank you for that donation. Welcome Carolina, our chat moderator, who's in blueprint for the name. And again, students, when you join that premium version, then you do get 2 extra Zoom classes. If you would like to take a look at those Zoom classes, check out this playlist. I'll drop the link into the chat for everyone. There you go. And again, you can use this code TOGETHER9 when you check out for an extra 10% discount. You can link the mobile apps, search for Academic IELTS Help in the App Store or General IELTS Help in the App Store, and then link them to the websites. Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, and GIELTS Help. For questions, comments, thoughts, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. Tomorrow, premium students, we have a reading class, and then on Friday we have a speaking class that's all on Zoom. Here's a speaking video that you can take a look at. Students, make sure to subscribe, like the channel, and then you get notifications of what's going on, new uploads, live classes. Let's jump right into the speaking. So the speaking section, students, it's made up of 3 parts. And it's about 12 minutes, so it's pretty quick, right? The listening section is about 50 minutes. Reading section is an hour. Writing is an hour, but speaking is only 12 minutes. That's because when we speak, we exchange a lot of information very, very quickly. So the goal here today is to understand some of that information and how to exchange it. Make sure that you copy and repeat what I say. So speak with me, okay? Try to really copy my intonation, my pronunciation, the words, write them down if you hear new words. And if you're having difficulty, no worries. This class is being recorded. You can come back, revisit the class at a later time on YouTube, practice again. So when you go to your IELTS exam, show up early, go about an hour before your speaking starts. Make sure that you're speaking English before the IELTS exam. Don't try to use very challenging words or very difficult grammar, especially when you're warming up for the exam. Just keep it kind of light and casual. Practice your introductions, practice some common everyday topics. Try to find another candidate to sit down with in a nice quiet spot and ask each other some questions back and forth. That can really, really help improve your score. And then when you meet with the examiner, you will sit in a professional space. The examiner will welcome you. They will say, "Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. The test has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. We are recording this for clerical and marking purposes. The exam is being conducted in Victoria. The time is 6:36 a.m. This is candidate number 77889332, examiner number 99431. Let's begin. May I see your identification?" Now, by this time, you should try to be as calm as possible. And you need to remember that in the IELTS, they're looking for fluency, they're looking for coherence, they're looking for lexical resource. It means how well do you use your vocabulary. It's not just how much vocabulary you have, but how well do you use your vocabulary. Does it sound natural? Is it the right word choice? And then they're also looking for your grammatical range and accuracy. Again, you have to use it naturally. You can't just try to use random grammar. And they're looking for your pronunciation. You don't need to fake an accent. You just want to sound clear and comprehensible. Okay? So when they say, "May I see your identification?" And again, students do repeat these questions, not just the answers. So, "May I see your identification?" Please repeat. And then you should answer in a nice full sentence. Students, I'm looking at the chat, so you're welcome to put your answers in the chat. While you're writing down your answers, be sure to say them as well. So say them nice and loud and clear, okay? So, "May I see your identification?" Yes, gladly. Here is my ID that I used to register for the exam. Please take a look. Okay. Nice, fluent answer, smooth, confident. Okay. The examiner is a number. They tell you they're a number. You're a number. So don't get emotional attachment to the speaking section. Don't pay attention to the examiner's mood. If they're happy, great. If they're strict sounding, whatever, just do your best, okay? Be you. All right. A couple of answers from the chat here. Ariadna has this answer this morning. "Gladly, this is my passport that I have used to register for the exam. Please take a look." Very good. Amanjad says, "Sure, here is the passport that I used to register for the exam. Please have a look." Okay, also good. As long as it's a nice full sentence and accurate, you should be on the right track. Okay. Regular Short says, "When I speak, should I do it fast? What should be the speed in words per second?" There's no rule for that. It should just sound natural. Some people speak slower, some people speak faster. It should be within the realm of natural speed or natural conversation. That's quite a range depending on your diction and your style. Okay. All right, then the examiner will ask for your name. They'll say, "What is your full name?" Again, continue in that kind of formal, professional sense. So you can say, "My name, as it is in my passport, is Amanda Johnson. Please call me by my first name, Amanda." Okay. So again, nice full sentence answer. It doesn't have to be long, but it has to be complete and coherent. So my name, as it is in my passport, is Amanda Johnson. Please call me by my first name, Amanda. Okay. Aisha would say it like this. Aisha says, my given name is Aisha and surname is Binte Ibrar, so please call me by my given name, Aisha. Very nice, Aisha. That's perfect. Okay, nice, fluent way to say that in a clear, understandable way. You're going to be just fine. Okay. These kinds of full sentences give confidence not only to you, but also to the examiner. It tells them that, okay, here's a person who has prepared. They understand that this is a formal interview. They understand that they should speak in full sentences with clarity. So that's why it's so important to get these sentences right. It allows you to feel confident, and it also allows the examiner to feel confident with the interview. Okay. So then the examiner will say, okay, Aisha, for part one, I'll ask you a couple more questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study? And then, again, nice full sentence answer. I currently do not hold a job. It is because I am a full-time student pursuing my bachelor's degree in chemistry, and also I have been preparing for this exam as I plan to continue my studies abroad for my post-graduate diploma. Okay. So again, nice full sentence, students. Answer the question. They're asking you about work and study. So tell them if you have a job or not. Tell them if you study or not. Okay. Combine those sentences. Students, complex compound sentences are very important. Okay. Compound sentences, complex sentences are sentences that join different ideas together with your conjunctions. Conjunctions are the joining words like correlative, coordinating, subordinate conjunctions. Again, if you don't know what those are, go to the website aehelp.com, glshelp.com, join it, get into your My Student account. Once you're in there, then go to your full online course, go through the key strategies, the listening section, reading section, and then even the bonus writing section, where you will find a lot of these explanations for how to use conjunctions. Joining words, conjunctions is the right way to think about it. Okay. All right. So they might ask you one more question, like, what is your favorite food? Okay. Questions are random. I mean, it's kind of an awkward conversation because you're not really sitting down with someone for a true chit chat out of interest, but you're sitting down with a person who needs to measure your English. So don't try to guess the questions. Don't try to predict the questions. Just be ready for any common question, like, what is your favorite food? Okay, so Aisha here would say, I absolutely love biryani. It's spicy, flavorful, and reminds me of family gatherings. Yeah, Aisha, that's a good start. And, I think that's kind of like a band 8, if it's said fluently. To kind of make it more of a band 9, I would probably add another sentence to it. I would probably say, in fact, I had a delicious plate of biryani just yesterday evening. So that fluency should be there, that complete kind of coherence should be there. Plus, students, you want to introduce visual language as early as possible. So you want the examiner to feel and see what you're saying, because that's great communication. And band 6 is fluent. So band 6 means that you kind of sound fluent. Band 7 means good. It means that you're not making a lot of mistakes and you're making sense. Band 8 is very good. That's where you're not just speaking fluently and you're not making too many mistakes, but you're answering the questions accurately with good detail. And then band 9 is kind of the same, but it also considers impact. So when you're thinking about band 9, it has to be impactful communication. So am I visualizing what you're saying? Are you convincing me of some ideas? Do I want to try biryani after I hear you answer that question? Does it make me want to go, hey, I'd love to try a bowl of biryani. I want to eat something spicy and flavorful that reminds me of family gatherings. Okay, so that's kind of where you're going with it. All right. All right. Kostub says, it's gonna be a burger, especially the one with chicken patty, spicy sauce, and a cheese slice. I love nothing more than biting into a crunchy, spicy chicken burger when I feel famished. Okay, so I just took that sentence, Kostub, and turned it into a band 9 for you there real quick. It's okay to use gonna, sure, why not? It's natural, and it can even sound professional when it's put into a nice, coherent, complex sentence. Biting into a crunchy, spicy burger, again, look at the sensory language, students. So sensory language is when we use language that the audience can feel. So that means sound, taste, sight, touch, and smell, right? Okay, so with food, those are all very present. The crunchy, that's just me. I like crunchy chicken burgers. I don't like soft chicken burgers. Jim, crunchy and crispy, same thing. They're synonyms. Crunchy, crispy, same idea. Okay, and then of course using words accurately, like famished, will get you points. So the examiner will say, okay, that's a good use of the word famished. Okay. Absolutely, Ariadna. We love visual language. We love sensory language. Okay. All right. So once you're kind of done those warm-ups and you're feeling good, you're remembering all of your strategies. Again, students, the number one strategy that you should be thinking about all the time in your IELTS speaking is answer using the question, give a clear explanation, use sensory language, let's just throw in there, plus give examples. Okay, so as long as you're remembering to do that as much as possible, then you will do a good job. And by the way, when you do this, of course, the added benefit is that thinking in this way leads to complex and compound sentences. That are very important for bands 7, 8, and 9. Okay. All right. So when you're done with that, the examiner will say something like, okay, for part 1, let's talk about children. Okay. Now that might surprise you, like, okay, I don't have children. Don't think about what you don't have, okay? So, or you might even think like, I don't like children. Okay. Hopefully not, but some people. So I don't have children. I don't like children. Never think negatively on the IELTS, okay? Negative thoughts, they restrict your thinking. They kind of block your thinking. So you always have to think positive, okay? For fluent language, it is best to think positive. Like, I have some cousins, nephews, nieces. Okay, so think in that way. Always positive thoughts. All right. So the examiner might ask you something like this. How often do you meet children? Again, students, be sure to copy what I say, repeat the questions as well, okay? So, how often do you meet children? Okay, I really like Aisha in the chat, how you seem to have prepared for this class. Students, I upload these questions to the lesson description almost a week before the class. So you're more than welcome. In fact, I encourage you to look at the questions in the video description and try to start thinking about answers. Preparing for the class makes it a lot more effective. Okay, again, subscribe to the channel, click the like button, then you'll get notifications, then you can see the questions before the class starts and you can prepare. And so you can have them kind of all ready in your head, like Aisha here. Aisha says, I meet children almost every day. My younger cousins live nearby, so I often see them at home or during family visits. I enjoy talking to them because they're full of energy. Love it. Okay, I'm literally going to give you one of these heart cliches, Aisha. I love that answer. It's clean, it's clear, it makes sense. And when I'm the examiner and I hear that kind of sentence, it tells me, okay, Aisha might not have her own children, otherwise she would have likely mentioned, but she's being positive and she's thinking, okay, well, yeah, I don't have kids, but I love kids and my cousins are around me and that's what I'm going to talk about. So it's a perfect answer. Okay, I meet children almost every day. My younger cousins live nearby, so I often see them at home or during family visits. I enjoy talking to them because they're full of energy. I can tell, Aisha, teachers can tell, examiners can tell, especially when you've been doing it for 20 years like me. When I see the answers in the chat, I have a pretty good idea of who prepared before the class. Because good luck on your speaking exam today. Students, you're welcome to interact with each other. Wish Vikas good luck and 2 thumbs up. I'm sure it's going to help him, make him feel more confident. Okay. All right. Shajona has this answer for us for this question. Shajona says, I meet children every day at school. They are like my sisters. I have a little sister too. They are playful and cheerful. They like to play a lot. Okay. It's good. Shajona, this would probably be about a band 5. It's a bit segregated, so you want to join these. Okay, so join these sentences together. Like, I meet children every day at school and I spend a lot of time with them. So they are like sisters to me, especially because I have a little sister at home too, and they are playful just like my sister Annie. Okay, so notice all those connections there. Again, Shajona, if you didn't catch that or others, you can go back and review that later on when this class is available for replay on YouTube. But you can connect those ideas, right? So you want to connect sentences. All right. Next question, students. There's probably about 5 or 6 of these. So next question. Do you like to play with children? Okay. I would answer something like this. 100%. It's a very common saying these days to use this 100%. I bet some of you heard that already in TV shows, movies. It's become a very popular part of modern pop culture. 100%. I really enjoy playing with kids. My 2 daughters and their friends, not only because their joy and sense of fun are contagious, but also because it actually boosts my creativity, since they are so imaginative. Just yesterday, they gave me a really good idea for a new lesson topic through their games playing Lego. Okay. So there you go. There's a nice, full, natural Band 9 level response, okay? And I'm sure you're catching some new words in there as well. Some of you, you're probably going, oh, okay, that's how you can use some of that vocabulary in some interesting ways. Again, just repeat after me. 100%. I really enjoy playing with kids. My 2 daughters and their friends, not only because their joy and sense of fun are contagious, but also because it actually boosts my creativity since they're so imaginative. Just yesterday, they gave me a really good idea for a new lesson topic through their games playing Lego. Okay. Again, notice I don't say for example, I just give the example, right? Okay, so again, Ghazi, I'm going to take this example because I know you have some kids. And Ghazi says, I do not mind playing with kids, but when I am busy, I avoid interactions with kids to stay focused on my studies. So, see, this is a good sentence, Ghazi, but because it's a negative sentence, it kind of just cuts short. It's kind of like, bop, 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 bop. And it's like, okay, fair, honest opinion. If you have too many of these, the examiner will say, it was nice, fluent, coherent, accurate language, but it's going to be a band 7, not an 8, not a 9, because I didn't hear the depth of language, I didn't hear the range of vocabulary, I didn't hear enough complexity in the grammar. So that's the kind of fallback or drawback of negative answers. They tend to be short and they tend to be what's called conversation stoppers. Okay, so again, negative answers are conversation stoppers, and high band scores need to sound like a good conversation. Okay. All right, so that's why you want to avoid them. I honestly, my opinion is when you're practicing for the IELTS exam, not for other language, of course, you need to be able to express negative thoughts in English. But when you're studying for the IELTS exam, I would recommend just staying away from negative answers altogether. Okay. So stay away from them. Okay, I see some nice answers coming up in the chat now. All right, excuse me. So then the examiner will ask you a few more questions. They'll get more and more complex as you go along. The grammar will become more and more complex. And then eventually they'll ask you maybe a present perfect question or a conditional like this one. So we'll jump to this question here. It's a fun one. If you could be a child again, would you take the chance? Why or why not? I would probably answer this in this way. Given the opportunity to travel back in time, that's really what we're talking about, right? Time travel. Given the opportunity to travel back in time to my youth, I would most certainly take the opportunity, because I had a lot of fun as a child, and the novelty of the world was the most amazing experience to explore and learn. I would love to revisit those feelings. Okay. So, students, if you have a question about a word or how I'm using a word in a sentence, please let me know. Okay, that's how we learn. If you're thinking it, some other students are probably thinking it too. Okay, so don't be shy. Don't be like, oh, if I ask about that word, everybody will be like, oh, you don't know that word? No, people don't think like that. Don't be self-conscious. If you're wondering about a word, then probably a lot of students will be like, oh, thank goodness somebody asked about that word, because I have no idea what that word meant. So do ask, okay? I like to explain words. I like you to understand clearly what I'm teaching. So here again, look at the structure. It starts with the condition, if you could be a child again. And I take that, I interpret that, and I reflect it. That's band 9, okay? So given the opportunity to travel back in time to my youth, okay? Basically just paraphrasing, but with a lot more kind of clarity, right? I would almost certainly take the opportunity because I had a lot of fun as a child. I immediately roll into that explanation. The novelty of the world. Okay, that means that the new experiences, right? So riding a bicycle for the first time, eating candy for the first time, watching an awesome cartoon for the first time, playing that first video game. So all of those novel experiences, right, was the most amazing experience to explore and learn, right? I would love to revisit those feelings. Okay, revisit those feelings to feel those emotions again. All right, very nice. Okay, Aisha, I see that you went through the whole question set, which is awesome. Aisha says, yes, I would love to be a child again. Life was simple and I didn't have to worry about exams or responsibilities. I miss the fun, the freedom, and the small joys of childhood. In fact, I would say those are some of the biggest joys of life. Not just small joys, that's the way adults see it. But remembering back, those are some of the biggest joys of life. No question about that. Aisha, remember the condition. Okay, so if I had a time machine, I would love to be a child again. Yeah. So, yeah, I think, or another. If there's another way we could be, I suppose, a child again, rather than traveling back in time. If I discovered how would that sentence end, students? Just kind of a fun challenge here for your vocabulary and your thinking before we get to part 2. Instead of saying a time machine, we could also say, if I found it's 3 words, starts with an F, and then of, and then starts with a Y. What do you think those two words could be? And again, if I'm your examiner and you use that phrase, I would be like, yeah, that's band 9 level thinking, communication. Absolutely. What do you think? What's the missing? What are the missing two words? Chasing haze. Oh, very good. Good for you. Nicely done. You get a big thumbs up. You know what? I'm gonna actually give you my thumbs up here in the chat. That's my actual thumb there for you. Chasing haze. Yeah, it's Fountain of Youth. Okay. So, Fountain of Youth. Yeah, very good, right? It's the fountain that can make you younger again. Abdul got it too. Fountain of Youth. Yeah. So if I found the Fountain of Youth, I would probably sit in it until I was back in my 5 years old body. There you go. Back to child. I don't know if I'd want to go back to being a baby, but I would rewind time till I'm about 5 years old. Okay. All right. So that's some fun learning. So when you're kind of getting to these complex questions and the examiner can tell that you're doing a good job, they'll segue to part 2. So they'll say, that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will ask you a couple of questions. I will show you some questions on a card. You will have 1 minute to read these, think about your answers, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. And then they introduce this cue card. Now, students, you want to practice as many of these cue cards as you can. This is the most uncommon part of the speaking, meaning that most people do not go around giving their friends 1 to 2 minute mini speeches on a topic like a good place for learning. So you want to practice as many of these. You want to cover all 5 of the categories. So you want to practice talking about a place. You want to practice talking about objects, talking about people, talking about events, and talking about ideas. Okay, so all 5 of those. The cue card will be on one of those. So they'll either ask you to talk about some place, some event, some idea. And again, to get a really, really strong, confident strategy for all of these, go to our websites. The lesson videos here in the speaking section, you'll see that there are over 125. And when we made all of these videos, we made it a really important point to cover lots of topics on each of these, on events, places, ideas, objects, people. And so it gives you a good idea of how to answer these. There's definitely a strategy for each of these kinds of categories. So you'll find that in those lesson videos. And you'll find the explanations in the course. And again, just click the big red button on the website. If Caroline is here, maybe she can drop those links into the chat for us. If not, I'll do that in a minute. General IELTS, same thing, right? gieltshelp.com. So the first step when you see the cue card is just to read it carefully. Okay? So talk about a place that is good for learning. What is the place? What can people learn there? When is the best time to go there? How can this place be even better? Okay. So you have 1 minute to prepare. And in that 1 minute, you need to get down some good notes on the paper, and you need to get down your first sentence as well. Okay, so think about a couple places, like you might think about library, a park bench, by the beach, in my bedroom. So there are definitely different places where learning is efficient. And then you need to think about describing what it looks like. You need to think about the location of where it is, the people who go there. You need to think about the activities, so what happens there, right? Doing research, putting together projects, writing essays, and then you also need to think about your experience. So it's conducive, it allows you to achieve your best academic results. You have silence, you have resources, and you feel confident when you learn there. So think about the experience as well. Okay. All right, students, I'm going to continue this lesson through Zoom, meaning I'm going to give you a chance to answer this part 2 question and then also segue into some part 3 questions. So please prepare your answer for this part 2 while I start up the Zoom session, okay? Zoom is another app. It's for meetings. You can use it together with YouTube. I'm going to continue using my camera here in YouTube, and those of you who don't have Zoom, you can just continue watching here. This is the Zoom link. Okay, I'm going to drop that into the chat there. And I will start up the Zoom session. Okay, and put on my headphones so I can hear you as you start to chime in. Okay, so let's start this up. And then again, make sure you have a good connection. Okay, good internet connection is important. Make sure that you mute YouTube when you're speaking so you're not getting double audio. Okay. And then I'll ask you some questions. So we've got a couple people already in the lobby, which is fantastic. Okay, keep joining in, please. And students, you can raise your hand to volunteer in your reactions in Zoom. So if you have your hand up, then it's easy for me to know that you would like to try this. Ghazi, why don't you chime in? Thank you for the super chat donation, by the way, Ghazi, earlier in the class. If you're there, Ghazi, unmute yourself.
Hello, Adrian.
How are you,
Good
Ghazi?
morning.
Good morning to you
I'm
as well.
I'm fine right now. You know, they sent me a schedule for the exam. Writing, listening, reading will be on Saturday, and speaking on Sunday.
Okay, okay. Well, good luck to you on the weekend. I mean, hopefully I'll see you in class tomorrow and on Friday in the premium classes as well.
Sure, yeah. I
Yeah.
will be there for sure.
Okay. Good. So we'll have some more chances to talk. All right, Ghazi, let's do this. So let's try this
Yeah.
part 2, okay?
Okay.
All right. Did you have a chance to prepare your answer for part 2?
No, I just need to read the question again.
Okay.
The library in my
Yeah,
mind.
sure, the library in your mind. Read the questions nice and loud for everybody again.
Okay, part 2. Talk about a place that is good for learning. What's the place? What can people learn there? When is the best time to go there? How can this place be even better? Yeah, you have 2 minutes to talk about the topic. You will have 1 minute to prepare
Okay.
what you are going to say.
All right. Now, to be fair, students, before you start talking, or before your 1 minute preparation time is up, you should prepare your first sentence. So that sentence should come out very nice and smooth and focused. So Ghazi, let's do that together, and then I'll start you off. So what would be your first sentence here?
Yeah, first, it's just we need to reflect the question, talk about a place that is good for learning. I would say the excellent location for learning is a public library in the city of St. John's in the downtown, which is close to my place. Yeah, maybe just the location.
I think that's a great first sentence. You can
Yeah.
expand from that. You can explain how close it is to your place. You can start
Mm,
to describe what it looks like,
mm.
what happens, or what you can do there. Okay, so I think that's a great start. So I'm going to start you off again. So go back to the sentence, and then start adding in those details for location, appearance, attendees, activities, experience. Okay, so here we go.
Yes.
Okay, so your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
The excellent location for learning is a public library. Library is in the city of St. John's in downtown, which is close to my place, specifically on the Freshwater Road. I go to the library every Wednesday at around 7 o'clock. That's because I find a group of artists in the library at that time as Elizabeth and Tina. So they are friend of mine. I uh, uh, have known them for a while. And first of all, we just start chatting in general. And because I meet them frequently, I improve my communication skills because they are local residents. Furthermore, I learned about the oil painting from them. And despite I didn't have any idea about this kind of art before I came to Canada in 2020, but I know a lot because I meet them every Wednesday. And in the end of this meeting, we have some snacks, and usually everyone brings his own snack, and we do like a banquet together, and we enjoy talk to each other, and we also do cultural exchange when we talk about the difference in the food recipe. For example, last week I brought
Okay, your 2 minutes is up.
cookies.
I will stop you there. Please put the note paper to the side, and your pencil as well, and we will now go on to part 3. Just give me 1 second here, Ghazi.
Okay.
All right, I just had to mute Rifat there. We had some background noise coming from Rifat, but all good. Okay, so that was very good, Ghazi. Very, very nice. It felt real. It felt natural. It felt connected. You explained to me a little bit about the library, and then definitely a lot about the activities of why you go there, which I really liked. So you're basically at the library because you're learning communication skills. You're learning a new art form. You're learning cultural exchange. So lots of learning is happening, which is fantastic.
Yes.
I think the band score for this, according to the IELTS exam, you just had a couple of smaller mistakes. I think it's a strong band 7 to band 7.5. Okay. I would give you a band
Okay.
7.5 because I thought it had a lot of really good elements. Some examiners might be closer to a 7 if they're picking at a couple of the mistakes or if they're picking at the information. Okay. You
Okay.
want to make sure that you answer all the questions, like how can this place be even better?
Mm. Yeah.
So it's easy to sometimes kind of get lost in one train of thought. And I think you really started to live the experience, which is good. So I don't want you to stop that. It's really good. But you do have to remember to give complete answers, right? So why the
Sure.
library? And this was kind of the question that I kept thinking of in my head of what's missing for me is why the library, right? So you meet Tina and
Yeah.
Elizabeth, but you didn't explain why the library is such a good place for this. And I
Sure.
think I know the answer, but I wanted you to say it, right? So why
Sure.
is the library? Can you explain that in one sentence, one or two sentences?
Yeah, I love to go to this place for two reasons. Because I have such a noisy environment at home because I have four children, and I find the library is quiet and good for concentration.
Okay. Now that's great. I really like that.
Mm.
At the same time, your reasoning should be connected to what you're saying, right? I would say something like this. So the library, beyond being a place with a lot of resources and having quiet spaces, is also a good place to meet people who are curious and conversational,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Tina and Elizabeth. Right? So it has some big rooms that are purposed for workshops and projects like oil painting, right? So
Sure.
those are connected to what you're saying, right? And so that's kind
Mm.
of where I was going with it. So always kind of include that thought. But Ghazi, overall, very, very good. I think you're absolutely on the right track. I have no worries that you'll do well in your speaking. Make sure that you're investing a lot of time into your writing, okay? I think that's where you need to
No,
really focus. Writing, writing,
I don't
writing.
worry about this.
Okay.
The writing actually that's something needs a lot of work, yeah, and
Yeah.
because you don't expect what the topic will be, and yeah, in my opinion, based on the topic, if
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the topic, I can write a good essay, but if it's not, maybe we will struggle.
Yeah, be confident.
Yeah,
Practice
so
the writing, and I'll be there with you in spirit. Okay, thank you, Ghazi,
thank
for
you.
volunteering, and thank you for the super chat donation too. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Adrian, for the encouraging, and we'll see you tomorrow in the class.
Sounds good, Ghazi. I look forward to it. All right, everybody, give Ghazi a thumbs up. I'll give him one in the YouTube chat there. That was really, really good. Let's get somebody else in here. Amritesh, are you there? Amritesh Mishra, do you want to unmute yourself? If you're there, let me know. I'll wait a couple more seconds for you to chime in, and if not, then we'll go with somebody else. Okay, let's try Abdu Kodir. Abdu Kodir, are you there? You've got your hand up. Just unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here.
All
Hello
right.
again.
How are you doing, Abdu Kodir?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, are you ready to try this part two?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
ready.
let's do it. I'll start you off, and then just be yourself and do your best. Don't worry about the rest. Here we go. Talk about a place that is good for learning. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Well, one of the best places to learn, I think, is a library because of its convenience and it's generally quiet place, And for me, it's accessible since it's located near my home. So this benefits, I mean, this advantages makes this place perfect spot to learn. And the library size is perfect, and the resources and facilities are just amazing. You can find the you can find the book that you need, and you can even have you can even use computers for little charge, but it is very useful. And usually I go to library every day to prepare IELTS exam and SAT test. The library helped me to achieve a lot of goals. For example, just 2 months ago, I had exam in biology, and this place helped me a lot to to pass this exam, because I nearly
Okay,
spent five
your two
minutes in
minutes time
this.
is up. I'll stop you there, and now we'll go on to part 3. Okay, Abdul here. Very nice. I can tell you're a little bit nervous. Obviously, it's totally normal. It's totally normal. First of all, I think you have very nice English. Okay, you're very fluent, and you've got great pronunciation. It's very easy to understand your words. And I can tell that you've practiced a lot of English in your life, and you've really kind of worked hard to know English well. I think with a little bit of practice, you can get a really nice high score in the IELTS exam. I'll give you some important feedback. Are you ready?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so because you're nervous, what you're doing is you're kind of jumping from one idea to the other without really developing your ideas. I didn't actually give you a full 2 minutes. It was closer to like a minute or just over. But the reason why is I wanted to have some time to explain this to you. So you had a great start. You said, well, one of the best places to learn is the library because of its convenience and it's generally a quiet place. Very nice English. For me, it's accessible because it is located near my home. Okay, so remember your numbers. Okay, remember quantification, remember details. That's where you're going to improve. So how near is it your home? How far is it from your home? Can you explain that to me? Is it?
yes. It
Mm-hmm.
it's approximately 2 kilometers away from my home, and that's walking distance from my home, and which makes it very convenient for me.
Okay, exactly. So you can say for me, it's accessible because it is located near my home. It is approximately 2 kilometers, so I can easily walk there in 15 minutes. Can you repeat that full sentence?
Yes, sure. It's generally near my home, and is approximately from 2 kilometer away. And it takes just 15 minutes to reach this spot, which makes it very convenient.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, much better. Yeah. So that's what I would like to hear is more of those compound complex sentences. You said the library size is perfect. Okay, what size is it? I have no idea, right? Especially not sitting on the other side of the world. So, what's the perfect size of the library? You said the resources are amazing. What are those amazing resources? You said you can find any book that you need. What kind of books are you thinking about? You can use a computer for a small charge or a small fee. How much does it cost to use the computer and how long can I use it for? So all of those questions are the questions that you want to practice answering when you revisit this later today or tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right, so those details, so add those details, make those complex compound sentences. Right now, your band score would probably be about a 6.5, maybe a 7, but with those details, it could be much higher. It could be like a band 8, okay?
Yes, yes.
All right. Abdul Qadir, thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you.
All right, let's give a big thumbs up to Abdul Qadir. I'm going to give a big thumbs up there. Boom. Okay, cool. Cool. That was great. All right, Aisha, I know you did a lot of preparation today, so I would feel guilty not giving you a chance to answer at least a couple of these questions. So why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself, Aisha?
Hello, sir. How are you?
I am doing very well. Thank you, Aisha. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great too. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, I have joined your premium classes. They are generally very helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Aisha, let's practice a couple of part 3 questions. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Why not? All right. Let's talk about educational establishments. What are some
Okay.
places where people get formal education?
Well, formal education happens in school, colleges, and in universities. These places have trained teachers, fixed subjects and exams, and students follow a timetable to get certificates or degrees after completing their studies.
Where can people gain informal education?
Informal education happens outside the classroom. People learn from parents, friends, YouTube videos, or everyday life. For example, someone can learn cooking from their mother or improve English by watching movies, like me, or taking classes from YouTube or internet.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Aisha, you're doing so awesome. Oh my God, that's exactly it. Okay, that's band 9. Like that's band 9, and that's what preparation gets you, right? So when you look at the questions before the class, you think about them, and you prepare. That's band 9. I can't keep up with my typing, not even close, but my brain's keeping up to what you're saying, Aisha. Don't worry, my brain's catching
Okay.
everything. It's just my fingers are too slow. But yeah, both of those are band 9 answers. You were super confident, super fluent. They were very natural. They were very accurate. So you said, well, formal education happens in schools, colleges, universities. They have great teachers. I can reverb what you said, even though I didn't catch it because it's so clear in my head. They have examinations, and people earn formal diplomas. And then when I asked you where can people gain informal education, you said informal education happens outside the classroom. Such a strong connection, right? Because your first answer very clearly made me understand that you know that formal education is a classroom setting. In your mind, that's where that happens. And then immediately you said informal education happens outside the classroom. Perfect English there. From friends, parents, YouTube videos, and then you talked about cooking, and then you even gave the example, and then you even connected it to yourself. You said, like me, I've been doing that. So it was so complete, it was so natural, and it was so coherent. That's what expert communication sounds like. So that's, in my mind, there's no examiner out there that should be giving you less than a band 9 for that. If they are, the problem's not with you, the problem's with their marking. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
But that's what band 9s sound like. So thank you so much for preparing and for thinking ahead and showing everybody, like, okay, this is what the examiner should be
Yes.
hearing when they're asking you these questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right, keep it up, Aisha. You're doing really good. You're gonna get a really good
Thank you,
mark.
God.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Okay, see you
Okay.
tomorrow. Bye, Aisha.
Bye. Bye.
Big thumbs up for Aisha. Prepared before the class, delivered really good answers. And I think when you hear them, you realize, you're like, yeah, okay, fair. That's what I would consider very good to expert answers to those questions. Students, for those of you who are premium users of our websites, you've got 2 more classes. So you've got a class tomorrow and on a Friday. Tomorrow it is reading, and on Friday it is speaking. If you're not a premium user, now's a good time to join. Check us out at aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gltshelp.com for general IELTS. You can use the code together9 on the websites, and they look like this. This is the academic one. This is the general IELTS one. Click the big red buttons, and then you're good to go. You can join the classes tomorrow. Please, if you're joining now, send me an email because I've already sent the Zoom links for this week's classes. Okay, we've got classes next week as well, but we do have a 1 week break at the end of the month, so keep that in mind. All right, students, that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this class. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you, everybody, for connecting. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. And much love to all of you wherever you are in the world today. Bye for now.